This episode is brought to you by 20 Past 4, your one-stop vape and head shop. They get new stuff weekly. Stop in and check them out. 4 locations, 2 in Great Falls, 1 in Helena, 1 in Billings, and Guerrilla Warfare Apparel. The best gear in the fight world. Join the Guerrilla Gang in 2023 because we are taking over. Be sure to use our code TWB10 for 10% off at checkout. That's TWB10 at checkout. And Jamie St. Mark's.
Who's ready for the weekly bust? You're in the right place if you came to catch the show. Tithe and Levi are the names of your host. Who the next guest is, I really wanna know. Conversation escalating, let's get to the show. Who's ready for the weekly bust?
Season 4, episode 12. Jake, bring it in.
We got our bad boy Gyspy Lindsey in here, fresh off of a fight in the UK. Jake, what's poppin', brother?
What's going on, my man? I'm just chilling, man. How you guys doing?
Good.
Chilling like a villain.
Hell yeah, feeling good, brother.
Jake,
I feel like a villain. All those guys in London, they're hating on me right now. They're not very happy with me.
It's more than possible. Being an American fighter overseas, sounds about right.
Well, it's funny because that's one of the questions we kind of just came up with. What did it feel like being over there, kind of repping the U.S. against the Brits over there? You know, it's more than just you fighting another dude in the BKFC. I mean, it was USA literally versus the UK over there. So what was that atmosphere like? What was it? What did it mean to you over there?
To me, I mean, I'm like that every fight. I get pretty I'm big into like visualizations, and I'm always feeling like I'm going to either defend or conquer like another settlement. I'm a big nerd, so I like, medieval knights and shit like that. So, man, it took it up a notch, that's for sure. It really zoned me in. It was different than normal fights. I told my coach, I'm like, man, I just feel like I'm not going to be denied. There's just something about it. So when I got over there, everyone was respectful, but in the backstage, it's like, look, man, it's kill or be killed, and I want to be a fucking king, and kings conquer. So
I just started playing Age of Empires last night, so
I see
there's that. So I get what you mean. So was it wild? Like, can we go over what happened in fight camp?
Yeah, I mean, it was an interesting fight camp. I've had very atypical fight camps for the last 4 or 5 years. My mother had a stroke a couple of years ago, and she's been struggling with that. And she passed away a few weeks before the fight, and then I had passport issues with my head coach.
Condolences.
Oh, thank you so much, man. It was rough, but it was definitely time. It was one of those situations. It was time. But my coach had a visa issue. He couldn't go over. My other coach, a visa issue. And this was last minute. We thought we were good to go. And luckily, and I told him, I was like, look, dude, I'll go over by my fucking self. I don't care. And I would have. In my last fight in Denver, I had 2 random guys corner me. I've never met them until that night.
Holy shit, bro.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was atypical. But, man, I've been dealing with that for so many years. Nothing can really knock me and shake me. I've been in this game for so long, and I've been through some shit in life. I've been in some stressful, dangerous situations. So at the end of the day, none of this extra stuff matters. Whether your coach is there, whether you have this, whether your weight cut goes good, all these things they're void. It's just what you do in those 10 minutes, how you perform in those 10 minutes. So
Word.
I was good, man. No nerves. The crowd doesn't even fucking exist for me. It's just me in there, me and myself, just being myself, self-expressing, and whatever happens.
Wow.
So what's up with the missing coaches? 2 fights like that is nothing against your camp or anything, but what's the deal with that? Why are you having a hard time? You said the
well, no, the both, and I'm not going to say publicly because that's their business, but both times was a very atypical, real reason. They weren't like just fucking around.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not trying to dog your camp or anything, but it's just
no.
Big thing having your support there, and so,
you said it happened in the past, so it's kind of just something that popped in my mind. Yeah,
right. Well, like, yeah, they had legit reasons. Like I said, that's their business. I'm not going to go publicly about that, but it was something that was unavoidable, and there's nothing we could have done.
Word. Okay.
In both instances.
No disrespect to them. My bad on that, man.
Oh no, Joe, he's talking shit. You better come get him. He's talking shit, boy. But luckily, I just started working with a guy named Pedro in Manhattan. He owns KO Boxing. We literally just started working for this camp, and we'd gotten together a handful of times. And he was great, man. He was down. He's like, I'm coming. I'm flying over, and it all worked out good. His energy matched mine, and then I had that French guy who didn't speak English in my corner. He was awesome. You know, he was saying some shit. I don't know what he was saying, but it was getting me hyped up. So
yeah, as long as that energy's there, right? I'm feeling it, bro.
Slapping slapping that Google Translator real quick in between rounds.
Yeah.
He's like, I had no idea what was going on, but I'm happy.
Yeah. That's dope, man. You're kind of taking it back to that Viking, like you said, kind of gladiator, whatever mindset where you're just kind of going in there to bang no matter what.
Well, like, you know what people used to say when I first started, and I thought it was so annoying. They'd say, well, the fight's, it's you versus yourself in your head. And I'd say, man, shut the fuck up. But, you know, I thought it was stupid. But that is true. It's absolutely true. You know, it's no one else controls your thought process and your mentality like you do. Now, people can say this and say that and get you hyped up, but ultimately it's all on you. So, you know, I've been fighting professionally for 20 plus years, pro kickboxing, MMA, boxing. I've done underground bare knuckle before it was legal. I've done a bit of everything. So luckily for me, I've gone through that. So mentally, I have that edge. Like really nothing can, at this point in my career, nothing can knock me off. I wasn't always like that. I used to be, you know, one small little thing goes wrong, you start second guessing yourself. You know, everyone knows the you know, you're in a fight. Oh, shit, I'm tired. And then this, and then this. I've definitely quit on myself before, but I pushed through that. I went over that hump years ago, and it's never going to be an issue again.
Him or Connor didn't back down in either one of those fights. They both went back to their corners with their fucking chin outs. Can you talk about that?
The what?
The corners of Connor and fucking him, they both went back and stood back up. They weren't fucking backing down on any of that fight, either one of those fights.
Oh, yeah. You guys both were, you could just tell you guys' fucking dogs were out. You know what I mean? Seems like you guys both had rough training camps, but you guys were like, I'm fucking showing up for me. I'm getting this shit fucking done.
On both sides.
It didn't matter how it was going. You guys were out there fucking lunch pail.
Yeah, and that's like, people didn't give Connor enough credit because, like, my buddies, when they saw the fight get announced, they're like, oh, he looks so pretty. I'm like, dude, you could be a pretty boy and be a bad motherfucker.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Look at me.
That's true.
Look at me.
But yeah, man, Connor threw down.
Bad, just pretty.
Yeah, he fought like a warrior, and it sucks that the ending happened the way it did. I thought that was a tad early. I would have liked them to let us finish the round. Me and Connor earned that climactic finish, but nothing I can do about it. So, you know, hopefully we can run it back at some point. But yeah, it was a fantastic fight, man. One of the best fights I've been in.
I'd love to see that because you guys, I see both of you knocked each other a couple of times. I think he got you with a right, like in the second scene.
Dude,
and
it was the end of the third round. Knocked the fucking soul out of me.
Yeah, because did the bell go off as he was counting for you? Was that the?
It was like the last 10 seconds.
Yeah, bro, that was wild, man. And I'm not saying that the bell saved you or anything, but that shit was nuts. Just like right at the end there.
It was great for us both because the end of the second round. At the end of the second round, I dropped him. It was at 10 seconds. So right when he got up and they counted, round was over. Same thing happened to me. But yeah, he clocked me, boy. I didn't see that shit. I didn't see it coming for sure. But a lot of people are getting mad about it. They're saying that I got like a long count. And here's one thing people have to understand. My job is not to count in my own head. I listen to what the ref does. Yeah. So like I'm listening for his count. After about 3 seconds after I got dropped, I was there. I could have stood up, but I didn't. I was hurt. I need to sit there and breathe.
Mandatory 8 anyway. Take the extra 5. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a mandatory 8.
Yeah, and the ref was kind of like, if you watched the first knockdown when I knocked him down, the ref was a little bit too concerned with what the other fighter was doing. Like he took a couple seconds to grab me and push me back. It's like, no, just start fucking counting. And that's why people are mad, because me and Connor got kind of tangled up when he dropped me. I grabbed his leg. my MMA came in. I tried to grab his leg, and it took a couple seconds for sure, but I could have got the fuck up. Like people are throwing a fit, like I wouldn't have stood up. I would have got up. My job is to wait till 8.
Yeah.
So if it's actually 20 seconds, but the ref says 8, I'm standing up at 8. I'm not standing up
take
earlier.
advantage of every little fucking thing you can.
The minutes, man. Little minutes. It doesn't matter what the world says. It matters what the ref says.
Right.
Yep.
But we like to go over your background. So who is Jake Lindsey? Where are you from? And how did you get into fighting? Let's go there.
Well, I'm from Manhattan, Kansas, which a lot of people didn't know there's a Manhattan, Kansas. Typically, when I say I'm from Manhattan, people are like, they think New York. It happens almost every. Yeah, every fight camp, you're having a conversation with someone. Typically, it's like a chick, and she's like, "Oh, you're from New York? I've never met anyone from New York before." It's like, no, bitch, Kansas.
No, I'm from 6 miles down the road, Manhattan, Kansas. Let's go.
Yeah,
Still ain't
yeah, man. I'm just I grew up, kind of had a rough childhood. You know, I kind of had a weird on one hand, around my personal school friends, they all had, really good childhoods and stuff. I was in like a good environment. And then, but at home, we didn't have a horrible environment, but, single mom, I could do whatever I want, no structure, some drug problems going around the house. From age 11 up, I kind of just winged it. I could do whatever I wanted. But, I always loved combat sports and Mortal Kombat, and when I was a kid, I'd play like I was a kickboxer, and I started watching Shudo. Excuse me, my voice is a little hoarse. I'm a little sick, but I started watching Shudo from a young age. My buddy, he's from Japan. He had VHS Shudo. That's old. I mean, they're the oldest MMA organization around. I watched one of those, and I was like, man, I want to do that shit. And then I just started training myself. I started tackling dummies at the high school because I didn't have a punching bag, and then just one thing led to another, and I stumbled upon the only MMA gym, and this is back in the day. There's barely any gyms around. And I actually called the promoter. I heard an advertisement for a fight on the radio, and I called and said, "Hey, I want to fight." And the guy's like, "Well, where do you train?" I was like, "Well, I train myself. I watch YouTube, watch Ken Shamrock." He's like, "Well, how about we get you, and he hooked me up with Joe Wilk, who owns Combative Sports Center, long-time combat sports veteran, high-level jiu-jitsu guy. And, I walked in, and it smelled, and there were people sweating, and they were sparring, and it was grimy, and I was like, this is what I'm all about. So I just kept going, and I didn't plan on fighting this long. I just started fighting. I went 19-0 in my amateur and first part of my pro career. I went to the UFC, went to Bellator. I'm the current unified super lightweight MMA champion. And I just kept going with it, man. I never really planned on fighting forever. It's a fire I have in me, and it has not gone out. So I'll just keep going until I don't want to anymore.
Oh, yeah. So what year was that, kind of when you were getting into all that MMA stuff and whatnot?
Shit. It's so long. I'm 36, dude. It's probably when I was about...
I'm a year behind you. It's 86, I see you were born, so I'm like a year and a half.
Yep. Yeah. Probably when I was about 16.
See that? That's dope.
What?
How'd you know he was born in 86?
I just looked up his stats and his bio and shit on here. It's on one of these links here. So.
Okay, I see.
We matched on Tinder.
Yeah, shit, dog. Hey,
I thought that was called Grindr.
We said we weren't going to talk about that. We said we were going to. He found J Love on Tinder, but yeah. Well,
at this point, you might as well just ask it, Jake.
What's that?
You know what it is. Come on, Christian.
No.
Oh, shit, we do. Okay.
Yeah, we got to get one in this season.
There.
All right.
How big is that piece?
That's your answer.
Go, buddy. Ask him again.
How big's your dick?
He wants to know what you're working with.
My dick?
Yeah.
We haven't asked that in a while.
Are you guys getting after it? I got a good 6 and 1. Nothing crazy.
I'm not saying 8 like everybody else. So
9.5, bro.
Y'all humble.
Yeah, let's get it. Come on, get on this one. Yeah.
Hey, listen to this though. I had a buddy. His name was Kyle, and he came to me one time. Lifelong friend. You guys are thinking it's funny as shit. And we're sitting in the car driving, and he's like, man, it's not, and this is out of the blue. He's like, my dick's not that big. It's not a big deal. And I was like, okay. He's like, I'm still growing. I'm like, yeah, man. It's like, I don't know what he thought was going to happen in this conversation. Like, I'm like, yeah, my dick's small too. And sure as shit, I told everyone, I had to, but just fucking a random story. We're just driving along and he's like, yeah, my dick's not that big. I'm like, hey man, do what you got to do.
You're like,
So how about the Jayhawks? What's going on?
Yeah, I know, right? Like, how about the weather?
how small he is and how much he enjoys being that, therefore small and such as. So,
yeah, you have a pretty crazy record, dude. I was looking. You fought in a lot of different shit, like the Victory Fight Championship. Did I see?
Yeah, VFC.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So
GOGO.
yeah, so I was just looking. You had a lot of fight experience. It looked like. So I just started watching some of your old fights, and I noticed. First off, you fought was it your first bare knuckle in Wichita
Yes.
against? Yeah, so that's cool. You're a hometown boy. How far is Wichita from where you're at, Manhattan?
About hour and a half, 2 hours.
Okay.
It's right
You're
down
kind
there.
of
And that's
like the local boy. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So-
that's where David Rickles trains, the caveman David Rickles, and me and him go
Okay,
way
yeah.
back.
And he was at a card that you were on, like your with Gertz, I think, or Grits. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
no, he was on he was on both of my first two fights. You want to talk?
Okay, yeah.
I'll put some. You want some information on big dicks? David has a gigantic dick. Like,
we gotta get him
I'm
out
not
here.
kidding. It's David. Like it's been like the talk of like. I remember when I first met him. That's like the second thing people said. He has a huge dick. I'm like, oh, that's cool. What's up?
Well, that's damn, dog.
They call him the caveman for a reason, baby. He's slanging.
He's got that club. He's got that club on him all.
That's what they say about the
day.
jug as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that fight in Wichita against Thompson there, you were talking about your MMA background, and wanted to do against Tierney and wanting to kind of go at him with some MMA shit. Against Thompson, you knocked him pretty hard with a right, and he went down, kind of slipped, or went down, and you grabbed him by the back of the head like you wanted to knee him so damn hard. Is it kind of hard to transition from like all that MMA, background, that kind of fighting to bare knuckle and wanting to? That's like a reflex, basically, all that training and shit. So is it tough, kind of transitioning from MMA to bare knuckle and not doing some of those things?
It is. It depends on how pissed off I am. If I'm mad, it's like very difficult to not do. But luckily for me, and with BKFC, you're allowed to clinch a bit. So like I love clinching in MMA. You can't elbow and knee, but I can still work a little bit. But I catch myself all the time when I'm in the clinch. I even did it last fight. There's a moment when he's about to break us, and I almost throw an elbow. It's just right there. I'm like, shit, can't be doing that. So that's ingrained in me at this point.
Right.
I trained it for so long. But like I said, luckily I was supposed to fight bare knuckle about a year before I actually did. They just canceled the show. So we got the weigh-ins. The whole arena was sold out. And the day before the weigh-ins, the city of Wichita canceled the show because of COVID. So and then about 6 months before then, I started doing bare knuckle exclusively. I don't do grappling anymore. I don't do anything but bare knuckle. So it's been easier to not knee people in the face and elbow their nose off.
Yeah.
So can we talk about the production of the BKFC overseas, or lack thereof? It was just it just felt like the start of it. You know what I mean? It kind of felt like BKFC 14 type shit.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this. All the guys were cool as shit over there. It was not as good as their American shows. Yeah. And I don't know whether they, I know their first card in London seemed a bit better. I think it's just, and this isn't their fault, but I think like just no one was really, Connor's really popular over there. I'm not popular at all over there. But other than Connor, there's no one on the card. James Franco is very popular. I just think it was like I thought it'd be in the Wembley. They were going to put it in the Wembley, but we were like in this kind of janky. You couldn't see it, but there was like probably 400 people there. We're in this little janky fucking
it looked
arena.
Like
weird, yeah.
It
So
did.
I mean, hey, dude, that was I was all about that. It was the production was not as good. I don't know why. I know they can have good production. Um, I don't know though. I'll tell you what. Like I showed up at the airport. No one can pick me up. Nothing like that. I had to figure it all out.
That's
Um,
fucked.
yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I don't take it personally. I think the show. I think a lot of like matches dropped, and from what they said, the back they were like apologized for how disorganized it was, and they had a crazy time keeping the card together. I think Wembley canceled on them, and all this crazy stuff. So the actual crew there was solid. Like they were really nice, professional. Once like the show started going, everyone. I mean, everyone, anything I needed, I could ask for, and they gave to me. They got me an Uber back to the airport. Like anything I needed, they were right there. So I just think it was one of those cards that just everything falls apart the last week and a half, and it's just barely getting it out the door essentially. But
And it's not the main show's equipment either. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
they just pay those guys to show up and film it.
Mhm.
So,
It's
or that's a BKFC UK's production for now. But like in the comments it says, hopefully raising the pay-per-view prices helps them out with all that. You know what I mean? Because now you have to help your people across seas
yeah.
to be able to watch stuff. So
Right. Well, that's kind of like you're saying. Those people just show up to do a job. That's how much money they want to put in.
right.
To the
I mean, I
actual-
seen like
the
two
BKFC.
familiar faces. One, obviously, Mr. Live Worldwide, Jeff Houston, and then Andrew Glenn. I think he is the rep there.
Shout out to my
I'm
cousin.
not sure. The
Gypsy.
guy, and I can't remember his name because I'm dyslexic and I don't remember anything. But once the show started, it was great. It was smooth. It was actually in the back of the show. The production might not have been that great, but in the back, it was very smooth. It was one of the smoother shows I've been on. So production, but like in the back, it was smooth. I knew exactly when I was going to fight. They kept me up to date. It was a good show from in the back at least.
The camera work was good. Just like like we were saying, the entrance just looked kind of corny, and I mean that's not like what makes your guys' fight, but I mean it gets the crowd hyped up, and just
Yeah.
all of that little shit kind of helps.
Dude,
out.
I fought in a Chuck E. Cheese before, so I ain't bitching.
Wait, is that a real thing? Talk about that.
Yeah, what's up,
Dude,
Chucky down
I fought in like skee ball, like bowling alleys and like a little like a corner. We've done some. Dude, we used to back when I started, man. We would drive. Some of my teammates would drive multiple states, pay money to fight in a garage with concrete floor. Like there was nothing around, so we would fight in like crappy bars with everyone smoking. Chuck E. Cheese's, any place that had like a little like event arena that was small, they would book shows in it.
Fuck
So,
a flash dance mob.
Yeah, this is called undisclosed.
Billy Wagner watching tonight.
Huh?
Billy Wagner's in.
Billy Wagner, thank you for
What
tuning
up,
in.
brother? Thanks for joining. So I noticed you're kind of talking about the grapple and how I've actually one of my questions. That's what I noticed a lot in your fights is that you work that grapple a lot. So I figured that's from your MMA background. So do you kind of just use it as it presents itself, or is it just something you like to work in there to kind of fuck with their head a little bit, kind of shake up their game plan, or
honestly, like my clinch work for this last fight was kind of garbage. I could have done way more. I was kind of just so fixated on landing the overhand right, I kind of forgot the rest of my game plan. But my cardio is fantastic. Not to toot my own horn, I'm like inexhaustible. Especially in the clinch, I've done thousands of hours of clinch work. So our gym was very grappling heavy. We had some high level grapplers. Brandon Bear, NCAA national wrestling champion, could have easily been in the UFC, probably won a title. He just didn't want to, right? Gigantic monster of a guy at 170. We had all kinds of high level grapplers. So and I was a striker at the gym. Like I loved to bang. So every time I sparred, I'd have to defend takedowns, wrestle, clinch. I've done thousands of hours of clinch work. So in the clinch, man, I'm kind of recovering. So yeah, the idea in bare knuckle is to get a guy in the clinch, get him kind of slow down. This is what I'm going to do to GOGO. This is one of the plans with GOGO. Now we'll see how it works out, but I can lean on a guy and work in that clinch, and it's basically like a breather for me. And that tires a lot of guys out, especially guys who aren't used to that because it's a different kind of cardio. Blood in your arms.
When it seems like you kind of a couple of times when you're
No, you lost his audio.
oh, we lost your audio, bud.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
I think he had a call coming
Sorry.
in.
My girlfriend was blowing me up. I told her I have a podcast. What's she doing?
Busy, babe.
That's
Yo,
right.
dude, Fridays for the boys.
Yeah, we moved it up from Saturday to Friday.
Yeah,
Because you got to have that day to recover.
a couple of times it looked like you kind of get people swinging wildly off of the grapple. You work in those body shots and some of those straights really nicely. And it seems like you get people a little off of their, I don't know if you want to say their game plan, but I like that Thompson dude. You got his ass swinging so wild. I don't know if that's a little bit of inexperience on his end, or like I said, you really work those body shots and some of those, you get in close and get those straights off the grapple. So yeah, would you like to kind of, go into that a little bit too?
Well, yeah, the idea. So, like, the nice thing about bare knuckle, and here I'll put you on game right here. So, a lot of people, and this ends up happening with me sometimes because you're just in the heat of the moment, is they clinch and they go for that overhead and they just start uppercutting the shit out of each other. Hey, it's effective, but people forget you can actually do Muay Thai tactics. You can hold a head and step and angle. You just can't knee. So,
Leading
like
him around.
with Thompson, he would be swinging. And I'd step back, pull his head down as he's swinging, so his punches start looping. And I dropped him with a short little uppercut. You can take a step back. A lot of guys, they crash and they grab and they punch. They don't really use the space or turn their opponents. I'll step back a lot and let their head come down and then to shoot a short little uppercut right up the center. But that's exactly what I end up doing, pulling people with their head, turning their bodies and stuff. Against Connor, I didn't really get a chance to do that, though I planned to, because like I said, once we dropped each other, it was just like, fuck it, we're going. I forgot kind of what I was doing. But
some people, it would happen to work out. So with that being said, who was your toughest fight so far?
Connor, by far.
Connor, hell yeah.
Brandon Gertz was hard because he's a southpaw, but honestly, it was at elevation, and I really didn't get a good training camp in and all that stuff for him. He was difficult, like getting his timing down. Once I got his timing down, he gassed. Connor didn't gas, though. He was a bit more tired than I was. 5th round, I was fresh as a fucking daisy. But yeah, Connor, I always said Connor would be my hardest fight in the division because he can move well and he has a good sense of timing, which are my two strengths. So
yeah. It was a good ass fight. Honestly, or here, go ahead. I've been just chatting his ear off.
Oh no, my bad. You're good, boss. So did you see that the BKFC ring girls made it to the cover of the Sun before that last bout? That's pretty big time. No.
One thing you guys notice that they need some thicker girls over there at the BKFC UK ring girls. Like, what the hell is going on?
I don't think he was impressed.
Yeah, I know you guys noticed.
It was,
we need that American. We need some cheeseburger fed girls in that.
No, I'm just kidding.
They don't need enough fried food apparently, or something. I don't know.
Apparently not.
You need them. He's like, I love them Kansas ladies. Hell yeah. What was I just gonna say? Oh shit! Did you wrestle since you're from the Midwest?
No, I had a kind of a weird. Yeah, never. I dropped out of school really young, and then I never did anything. No combat sports training before I started actually training at the gym, and I just picked up wrestling like that, striking like that. I was always pretty handy in a fight. I used to be really skinny, so I could, quick little hands and stuff like that. But and I fought quite a bit growing up, but no formal training whatsoever.
Okay.
Huh. When did you drop out?
Shit. I think 9th grade.
Damn. So you dropped out, and then what was the move from there? What was going on?
Dude,
you just kind of bounced.
A lot of partying. that happened.
As us 9th graders did, dude.
Yeah, dude, I started drinking when I was 13. First time I got drunk was on Everclear, so I was partying.
My first high school party, I was 9 years old.
What? A boy.
Family parties
that's this
back in the
fucking
day.
guy. He's my brother, 6 years older than me. What he was doing, I was doing. So we're partying. You know what I mean?
Just think about family parties back in the day. Hey, my boy, go get me a beer and fucking crack it open.
Yeah,
take a little sip off of her.
Yeah.
8 years old. You little
They're
shit.
like, hey, grab 3 beers. I might as well make it 4, right?
Yeah, I used to hang out with all the guys I hung out with were a lot older. So like I'm buck fucking 15 soaking wet trying to keep up, like talking
Yeah.
shit. Like I could drink that. Give me that, blah blah blah. Had
Let me get
multiple now.
Blacked
I
out
had-
drunk this morning.
I was like a nerd as well, by the way. Like so I wasn't just a crazy street kid. I had a nerdy side. Like I'd go to my friend's house, we played D&D. I
Damn,
loved all
alright.
that stuff.
Hell yeah, brother. Lord of the Rings. All right.
Yeah.
Some Dungeons and Dragons. That movie's coming out, but I've never played it. It sounds kind of cool, but then you also get made fun of for playing it, so it's like I don't know. It just sounds
Not
like something
now,
to
you
do
see
with
all
an
those,
action
like-
Stranger
That
Things.
over?
Stranger Things made it okay to
Oh,
Yeah, you see all those like slutty e-girls that play it now?
Of course, anything to get a couple subs, and
Yeah, yeah.
likes and shit.
Just tell him to check his
Um,
messenger, Facebook.
So you're
I'll
talking
just look
about
at it. It's
how your hardest fight was Tierney, but I was really interested in that fight against Gertz there. Because in the
Oh.
first round, it looked like he
Okay,
went
well,
down
just
from a
making it
hard
clear.
body shot
Never mind,
with
I
like a
got it.
minute 45 in the first.
No,
And then-
no. So like Gertz cracked me for sure. Like he actually wobbled me, I think mid-second round.
Okay.
But I never went
Is
down. Those were just leg trips. If you like go back and watch it, you'll hear the commentator. That's why the ref never called it, because he's a southpaw and he'd go so fucking hard and drive in, his leg
Yeah.
would end up behind mine, and I'd
Okay.
go backwards to get the hell out of the way. And Gertz was a hard fight. Don't get me wrong; he hit hard and stuff like that, but he just gassed. And I started
Okay.
getting his timing down by the end of the second, and like I
'Cause,
was
yeah,
landing
after-
that jab.
Yeah, because there was like 50 left in the first, and he actually caught you with a pretty hard left. That
Oh yeah,
I mean,
he stung me
I'm
for
not-
sure.
yeah. So it just looked like you guys
Javis, what's up,
were
baby?
freaking exchanging some really hard blows, and yeah, it just looked like it was a pretty like you guys were going hard at it. You know what I mean? Some pretty hard shots from both of you. It looked similar. I don't want to say obviously you said Tierney was harder, but
Yeah,
it
I
looked
mean,
similar.
it's
in the
fresh
fight.
in my mind. That's no disrespect to Brandon. Like
Yeah,
it's fresh in my
It looked
mind.
like a
You
tough
know.
ass fight, and it went what they called it in the fourth, I believe. So it would have been interesting to see once again, like you're saying, if it would have went the distance, because I can't remember
Talking about
exactly.
Connor.
No, well the
Gertz
the
fight, I
Gertz
think.
fight, didn't they call it from or in the third with the
End of the second round.
second or the third? Yeah, so that would have been interesting just to see if it would have kept going. It was just 2 really good rounds of you guys kind of banging it out.
Right.
So,
I was unhappy with it because, like I said, I just at the end of that last round before they stopped it, I slipped 2 of his punches and I started
Yeah.
landing counters. You can see him breathing. He's when I went to my corner, I said, "Okay, I got his fucking ass now."
yeah.
And then they stopped it, unfortunately. So, but yeah,
Yeah,
I would love to. I offered him a rematch. He's, I'm a guy. I like to slay dragons. Okay, I like to fight tough fighters.
You're right. Demogorgons.
Yeah.
Speaking of slaying dragons, you called out one man, the lone Macedonian, after your last fight. Let's talk about it.
Well,
GOGO SLAVESKI.
I don't know if calling out is the right term. I just said that because I knew we were contractually obligated to fight.
Yeah.
So, you
So
know.
that's the next one.
But yeah, I did say his name. I
He's
said,
like-
"Let's go, go, go."
Hell yeah.
Dude, I
Yeah.
heard it, dude. I didn't hear it at first. I had to replay it a few times.
I know that I woke up in the morning and Gogo's like, that's what I woke up to.
He's like, I don't know if it's necessarily calling him out. It's more of just like being like, hey, you're,
I mean,
you're
that's-
next.
We know we're fighting.
Next
He knew the
dragon-
second. He knew the second I won, we were fighting.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
again, like I wasn't. And this isn't disrespectful. I wasn't really aware of who he was until I've seen him fight before, but like I'm dyslexic, so the name didn't stick. And
Yeah.
before he headlined the last card, and my manager's like, "Hey, make sure you're watching GOGO fight." I'm like, "Who the fuck is GOGO?" And then I saw him. I'm like, "Oh, that guy, that big fucking jack dude with tattoos." That guy.
Yeah, because
Yeah, the dude that's on a 4-fight terror last year. Open up
yeah,
the
yeah.
year too.
I
Oh.
think you were on the same card, BKFC 31 or something like that. I can't remember.
Were
which
we?
one. One of them.
Mm,
I was or it might have been 23. I can't remember.
I don't remember.
Huh.
Now that
That's interesting.
it went
Yeah.
into his outlook. Yeah.
Yeah, because I literally was just watching a bunch of your fights on BKFC app with my cousin
I
Jeff.
gotcha.
Shout out to him for putting in some work with me. But yeah, we seen you guys are on the same card. I was like, oh, that's pretty interesting considering that you guys are, about to
Yeah.
tear it up.
I think.
They're about to tear it up for sure.
Yeah, I think GOGO is very talented. if you're asking me my opinion on him, I know you guys are trying to get some provocation. You want some drama, baby. Let's get them clicks, boy.
He didn't. Okay, I heard you. Yes, we do. We want the pump up. We want the pump you up.
And I'm excited.
Well,
I've been just getting into this, so it's awesome to kind of catch up and watch some of you badass fighters just grind it out, bro. It's been really enjoyable the last couple of months.
I think me and GOGO are gonna fucking get after it.
Yeah.
GOGO's a dog. I'm a fucking dog.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm a dog.
he's a hard-nosed fucking dude. You know, he's talented. You have to deal with GOGO. I'm a very tactical and bluntly honest to myself fighter, and I'm fully aware of what my opponents can do to me and cannot. And with GOGO, you have to deal with that raw Macedonian physicality. He likes to get in there and get grimy.
Yeah.
But he tends to gas a bit, and he tends to get a bit wild. Now, he can fight technically. I've seen him do it. He can fight quite well technically, but he has that dog in him that just wants to throw down. So there's things to exploit there. There's things to be aware of there. There's things to be, so I think it's going to be a fantastic fight. I think he's deserving of the position he's in, and I can't wait.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that last fight he did get a little bit wild, but we've seen
the other guy was like a little wild too, so it wasn't like, that's no disrespect. I get wild too.
Cedeno. What is going on here? Sorry, go ahead, Jake. Hold it down, bro.
Yeah, okay. So once again, you're talking about some of your skills, and I watched, like I said, I literally just watched like 4 or 5 of your fights, and like when that Tierney fight, you took a pretty hard right from him that took you to the mat, and I've seen you in some of those fights. You're able to take some pretty hard shots and keep intact what seems to be your game plan. What do you do in your mind in a moment like that to kind of reset when you kind of get shook a little bit or taken down so you don't lose the edge in the fight?
Well, not to be dramatic, but if you want the truth of the matter, I've seen people, like I said, I watched my mom die essentially trying to breathe, and I've seen other people I care about pass away in similar situations where they couldn't get breath, right? And I've seen people go through some pretty terrible things on their own accord or with nothing to do with them. And when I get tired or I'm in a position of like quitting, who am I to quit?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like when you have people out here, and like I said, I'm a weirdo, so I think of weird shit. Like, who am I to quit when you have people out there who are dealing with cancer, dealing with all these things that I know a young lady whose father killed himself, and she's dealing with that. And not to get all dark, but I'm just saying, like, there's no fucking way.
Yeah.
Like, and you only live once, man. I think the gateway to like the spark of divinity that humans have in them, everyone has that little spark. I think that's through suffering and pushing through that suffering, and that's part of it. Like when he put me down, like there's that second where you want to quit. Of course, you're a human being, but it's a 1-second decision. It's like when I walk out, you'll see me say to myself, I say, "Let's go, boy." And I'm like basically kind of projecting, like I'm pretending I'm talking to myself from the future. Like I'm my own father. It's like, come on, get the fuck up. It's time to go to work. Let's go. So you just gotta, once you get past a certain point where you have quit on yourself before and you feel the pain and all that stuff afterwards, and you realize, that and you go through all the stuff I've gone through in life, like I'm not scared of fucking anything in terms of like something happening to me. I'm not scared of bad things happening to me. So once you get past that point, like I don't care. I'll get up, and if you knock me out, I'll get knocked out. But I'm definitely going to get up.
Well, those fights I watched, brother, you fucking have taken some hard shots, bro. And I mean, you've been knocked down once or twice, but you got up and went back at it.
I got a good chin. I got a pretty good chin, to be honest with you. Connor shot, dude. Woo, boy. That'll wake you up in the morning, boy.
Ryan Perez says, if you say GOGO's name 3 times, he pulls up to your city and beats your ass. Dallas found out here in Montana. Oh, shit.
Oh, did they fight?
He says pulls up. He's sitting in his vehicle.
Oh, here we go.
We got Slaveski in the house. All right, we're going to add GOGO to the stream. see what's going on.
Oh,
All right, we got GoGo in the building.
How we wanna do this?
What's going
I
on,
can't see
guys?
him.
Christian.
Yo, GoGo. Welcome
What's
to the
going
stream.
on?
There he is. Bring him
Hello?
in, Christian. Let's go. We gotta say something.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you, man.
Yes, sir.
Nice.
Hey, did you fight in Wichita?
I don't think it was
What?
Wichita, or was it Wichita?
Yeah, did you fight on BKFC 23?
I can remember it was
Oh,
23 or
I don't
31.
think so, man. Yeah, I don't think it was him.
Okay. I know I thought it was like 31, maybe. I
I don't know. I'd have to look it up. I don't know if I've seen both their names at the same time.
Go ahead.
All right. Christian was making a note. I was letting him bring you in, but we brought GOGO SLAVESKI into the house. How's it going tonight, brother?
good. How are you guys?
Good.
Good, brother.
So now
Yeah, 31. Because
we got two people that are contractually obligated to get down. Both grab their lunch pails and get to work. Let's talk about it. I don't know when it's going down, but it's going down. These two
They told
gentlemen.
me they told me June 16th. Now it's BKFC, so you don't know. They could change that, at a drop of a fucking hat, but they told me in June, which is fantastic. I mean, the sooner the better for me, but you just never know, I guess, until they send the contract.
GoGo,
Yeah,
how
June
you feeling?
16.
June
I
13th
feel
sounding
great,
good.
man. Feel great. Wonderful.
You guys,
Where'd you get your nickname?
I got it from my home country, from my people.
Oh, is it like representative of your fighting style? Like you like to go forward?
Hey, go
No, it's just a nickname. It's a short nickname from Gorian.
I gotcha.
Macedonia, I see you're
It
from.
means go time because right when that motherfucker sees the motherfucking ring, it's go time. Go, what's up, buddy?
What's going on, man?
Man, I'm excited to see you motherfuckers in the ring. You guys have any key words for each other going into this? Are you guys going to be men of gentlemen or you got some shit to talk?
I don't know, man. He's been talking a lot of stuff. Like he's looking past me. He's talking about
What I
giving
say, you think?
you gonna give rematch to Connor after you're gonna get the title. Like you think that this is gonna be a walk in the park, stuff like
No,
that.
I don't think so. I think stylistically, I've been doing this for a long time, so I'm a pretty open and honest guy with myself. I think stylistically, Connor was a harder fight for me because I move good.
But you never
But-
You never fought me before.
You're absolutely right. You could absolutely be the hardest fight of my career, and I'm fully aware of that. I think I don't think I've been disrespectful. I've just been honest in my opinion.
Right.
I think you're very, very dangerous. You're more dangerous than Connor in a lot of different ways. I definitely can't let you hit me a whole bunch. You clearly have a lot of power.
Well, I'll
but,
definitely hit you. Just know that I'm.
Oh
gonna
yeah,
hit
I
you.
know. I mean,
I'm
that's
gonna.
just part of that's part of the game, baby.
That's what
I
I'm
won't
looking
take it
forward to,
personal.
baby. Looking
Hey,
I
forward
won't
to
take
it.
it personal.
Get some chairs going.
You guys both are going after the belt, man. So you guys just both
Yeah.
had recent fights. Go, do you have any comments on Jake Lindsey's fight against Connor Tierney?
No comments. Congrats on the win. He got
Thank you.
the title shot. The title shot, and we're gonna scrap, man. Is June 16. It's gonna go down.
Hell yeah, a couple dogs out there, baby.
Dude, I'm
That is
excited,
gonna
man.
be
Like I was telling them, I like to fight monsters. I don't like fighting,
He did say
low
that
tier
early
guys,
on,
and you're
man.
definitely a monster. I like slaying dragons, so let's fucking get after it.
I don't know about slaying dragons, bro.
You don't play D&D? You never played D&D? Come on, man.
You ain't no dragon, GoGo?
Gogo's
No,
a goddamn gorilla.
I'm a motherfucking ape.
Hell yeah.
Hey,
Hell yeah.
I had a
Hell
feeling
that
Gogo
yeah.
was going to go there, man.
Yeah.
Call them jailhouse
The
dogs.
silverback,
Reds,
baby.
dog.
Do you have any words for Gogo after watching him fight his former UFC opponent?
Sardania.
man, that was a good fight. He hits hard. I think. I mean, you have to deal. Like I said, Gogo is very physical. You have to deal with his tenacity. I think he did a good job. He got the W. He didn't get any
Wait,
damage in the fight.
Let me ask
What?
you, how did you come up with the scenario that you're gonna wear me down?
Because I watch you gas.
Oh, really? I thought.
That's
I
not saying
thought.
you're in bad shape. That's not saying you're in bad shape at all. But you tend to slow down a bit. I don't think even you would say that you don't. But you're tenacious, so like,
Right.
you know,
But do
you
I
can't.
throw with
It's
a?
not like
But
you're gonna not be able to throw punches. You fucking
right.
you brawl the whole time. You can throw the whole 5
Right.
rounds. I'm
So
aware of that.
I throw with the same amount of power,
Yeah,
the same
exactly.
5 rounds, all
Good.
5 rounds.
It's quiet.
Fuck.
So he's trying to call out a little bit of the endurance there from GOGO. You think might be
I
kind of
never. I'm not calling out his endurance. I said if you're going to make a criticism of him, he tends to slow down. I can see, and this is no disrespect. I mean, I slow down at times. I'm in really good shape. I don't know what your combat sports background is, but I imagine I'm better in the clinch. You're probably better on the inside with
Let's
with
clinch
short
then.
inside shots.
Let's clinch.
Okay, let's
Yeah,
go.
we're.
right.
Let's go.
Oh, lost
He
it.
said
I mean,
he's ready for that clinch game. He's saying.
You guys have
yeah, I'm gonna
complete-
say all this shit, and then I'm gonna do the exact opposite. I use that
There you go.
tactical. Gotta trick your ass.
You guys
Gotta
have
get you.
exact different
What's that?
styles.
What's that phrase? If your opponent is of choleric temper, irritate him.
Yeah, all that art of war stuff. Nah, not gonna work.
Yeah.
I'm too in my own head to do any of that shit. We're gonna show up and we're gonna fight, and what's gonna happen is gonna happen.
Most definitely.
Hell yeah, I'm excited, man.
That is
Two bad boys getting in the ring, June 16th.
it's one of the most anticipated fights for me of the year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man, and it's not just because I'm not gonna state that I'm not. I think GOGO right now is probably my favorite fighter to watch. No offense to you, Jake. I like watching.
Thank you,
fight as
brother.
well.
Hey, no
But,
worries, man.
GOGO has my my fan side right now. He got me fanboyed out. I love watching him in the ring. I loved watching you do what you did with Connor, and it really improved a lot to me in my eyes how skillful you actually are. And because I knew that was going to be both of your guys' true testimony to your guys' bare knuckle skill, and I think both of you came out really, really well. Neither one of you went down in fucking in ratings in my eyes. I think all of it was boosted by watching you guys fight. But I'm gonna back Levi. This is one of my most anticipated fights as well because of just the makings of it, the ingredients of it, and it also lines you guys up for the belt. So it's fucking huge.
Yeah. And I don't know
man.
much about GOGO,
Good to
so I'm
hear.
gonna go back and watch some fights on him. So
Oh yeah, GOGO had 4 fights last year in
Yeah, he's a
2022.
fucking dog.
damn,
We've
bro.
seen him
I see he's 5-0 in BKFC. So
Yeah.
yeah. So
as of now.
Yeah.
As of January, right? January? End of January?
Yeah.
cool.
You know,
Yeah.
it's nice that they're building these fights like this because for a while there, early on in the BKFC, like there are certain divisions that didn't have they weren't that interesting per se. You didn't have big names, but now you got it's good for me because, like I said, I kind of fly under the radar. I don't really give a fuck about social media. So fighting guys like GOGO who have a lot of I should say hype, but deserved hype, right? There's a lot of eyes on him. Same thing I said about Connor. Connor has a lot of hype and he deserved it. So it does a lot for me to fight these guys.
GOGO for another fighter, and you got a name for yourself, but GOGO has a strong following. Just by fighting GOGO is going to up your value.
No, I know, and that's again, just makes it sweeter. You know what I mean? And it's better that he's deserving of his hype, which makes it better. It gets me excited to fight him because he's deserving of all the hype and the attention he's getting.
GOGO, what do you feel about Jake and his skill? Do you feel like you're gonna what are your key takeaways, from watching him fight in the last year, in his improvements or his downgrades? Do you feel like you have the complete advantage in this fight?
I haven't watched his fights. I only watched his last fight. I definitely think that I have full like for sure I'm gonna dominate on this fight. That's for sure.
I'm excited to see it, man. Like I said,
Very much so.
yeah.
Me
Jake,
too.
I was watching you, man, and you got a lot of good foot technique and movement that I noticed in your fights too, along with that clinch game.
Yeah.
So I've watched a bit of BKFC fights recently, just trying to catch up because I'm new to all of this. So I'm gonna have to go and watch GOGO whip some ass now. But yeah, a lot of your fights, I noticed a lot of good footwork, bobbing and weaving. I feel like some of the shit I've watched is a lot of dudes just standing there taking shots and hopefully that swinging wildly kind of shit. And it looks like there's a lot of technique and a lot of training there with the footwork and like you're talking about the clinch game and stuff too. So
Right. One thing, I've had such a long career. I've just been in the fire so often that I can make good. Probably my biggest strength is making adjustments on the fly because I've been fighting for 25, 30 years. So,
it sounds like GOGO's going to keep you busy with that.
oh, I know that. I'm fully aware of that. I'm already, like I said, I took probably about 3-4 days off, and then I found out about the date. And I was like, well, I better get my ass back in the fucking gym because regardless of whether, however you feel, like I might say that stylistically I have an advantage over him, but until you get in the ring and you feel how another guy moves or his timing, it's completely different. Like I thought I had Connor completely figured out, and in ways I did, but then the second you get in there and you start moving, shit's different.
Yeah.
So, you have to kind of train all avenues to be ready for a guy like GOGO. You can't just say, well, he's going to come forward and throw these punches.
Well, man, everyone has a game. That's how you get punched in the fucking face.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, that's true.
Are you going to go into this training camp doing anything particular, knowing that GOGO has one of the head trainers and coaches and one of the best gyms behind him with Slaughterhouse? Are you going to go into a different kind of training camp, knowing that you're boxing not only against GOGO but essentially against Slaughterhouse as well?
I mean, no, I don't think about it. I mean, that shit doesn't matter to me at all. I don't know anything about. The only thing I know, like I said, and I'm not trying to degrade anybody, I've never heard of that gym, and it's not because they're not big. I just don't watch fights that much, man. I've gone into a guy's hometown. He hasn't been lost for 9 years. When I fought Pat Pilek, he beat Gary Goodridge in the kickboxing match, who's a heavyweight, knocked him out cold. Fucking 7-1 underdog, put the guy to sleep in 2 rounds. I don't think about that stuff
too much, or even because their record is astronomical right now from win to loss. Their ratio is insane.
I'm sure that's well deserved. I mean,
I
don't know. The only thing I've heard about them, and again, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I've read about the blood doping or the blood work shit. But I've seen them fight before, and I know they're all tough. You train with that guy with like that pink hair. Like the pink hair mullet.
Yeah,
I like that guy.
Yes.
Yeah, I like watching him fight.
Pink hair mullet, hell yeah.
The bullet.
I don't fucking know his name. I'm just saying. I don't know. I mean, I don't think there's not a single thing that will get to my, like, I don't think about any of that shit. I know what I got to do. I got a game plan for him. And other than that, I'm not worried about anything else.
So you don't watch any like previous fights of your opponent?
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay. Every guy has tendencies. I have them. They're subconscious. Right?
Oh,
you want to find those tendencies, but I'm not going to I have no clue. I'm not going to research his fucking team.
So, I don't know how much GOGO wants to stay on. I don't want to keep him too long. Do you have any comments that you want to make for Jake?
No, man. We're going to see each other June 15, and then we're going to scrap June 16. Simple as that. I don't have no messages. I know what I'm gonna do, and I wish him health after the fight. That's all.
Yeah.
Jake, how about you?
Yeah, I can't wait, brother.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good fight.
Can't wait either.
Two eager men looking to get in the ring. They both have the same fucking mission, same dreams, same ambitions. Let's just gonna see who's gonna have the better night.
June 16th. Gonna be a good card.
GOGO, we got to get you on next. How about next week?
Most definitely.
Yeah, you down?
Let's do it.
I'm gonna beef up and watch some of your fights, brother, so I can bask in your glory, dude.
Appreciate you. I appreciate you.
Nice shirt, by the way. Guerrilla Warfare, baby.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, man. Yeah.
Shout out GOGO. Shout out Guerrilla Warfare, man. Shout out Ryan Perez and Slaughterhouse. I do want to say thank you for your time. We got to get you on next week. I'm going to give the rest of the show to Lindsey.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
All right, GOGO. Thanks for
stopping in.
And if you guys don't know, June 16th, those guys are going to go at it.
That's gonna be dope, man.
Oh, shit. Okay. So all right. There was another thing that you brought up, Jake, that I wanted to talk about. You were talking about these black budget programs. Let's get into that.
Hell yeah, that's actually a great topic.
Well,
Thank you for being a good sport about that, Jake.
Yeah, dude. Thank you so much. It wasn't. We weren't trying to. Hopefully, you didn't feel attacked or anything. That was just a really good.
no,
interesting-
I don't take anything personal. Nothing bothers me.
Word.
Hell-
So what do you want to talk about? Black budget programs?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think there's any secret. You guys know who Dr. Stephen Greer is?
Heard
the
yeah.
name.
My mom's big on it.
We love Stephen Greer.
He's the shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well,
UFO.
I mean, if you look at the last 6-7 years, especially a big one came out around right before 9/11 when they do an audit on the military budget and they find trillions of dollars missing. Where
That
the
is
fuck's the money going?
What's the movie?
You know, it's no secret that we're getting extorted financially through black budget military programs for, there's all kinds of, evidence for it. It's like, for example, they've been working on open source energy. There's been 6,000 seizures for reasons of national security for open source energy inventions. All that shit kind of, the fact that at this point we are unable to account for, I think, $17 trillion
With a T.
with a T, and no one can answer a fucking thing about it. Everyone's like, well, they'll be fucking under oath in front of Congress getting grilled. I don't know.
You were talking about
No.
the meeting the night before the night before 9/11, right? The one where they're like,
Yeah, that's one of the big ones.
$1, but we're gonna take down these towers in the morning.
And then
you
all of a
guys just
sudden-
don't know that yet.
All of a sudden, we just get
The documentary, there's a documentary by Stephen Greer called Unacknowledged.
Right.
It goes over
We'll have
that,
to check it
the
out.
black budget. If you guys are out in the comments wanting to know.
topic. Stephen Greer
He
at war with another UFO enthusiast that a lot of people back, and he's a friend of Joe Rogan's, and also the guy who's in the Blink 182. They kind of are doing a counter intelligence fucking war right now with UFOs. One group is saying that UFOs are hostile and should be taken interpreted as a fucking threat. And Stephen Greer is saying that this might be a Project Bluebeam type of thing where it's a false flag thing. Just so you know.
I have heard about it saying that that's how they're gonna freak the world out as a fake alien invasion. This, that. I don't-
You guys know David Wilcox?
Yeah, David Wilcox.
Yep. He's been saying that there's another guy, I can't remember his name. 15, 20 years ago, they've been calling for all this stuff. They've been saying there's going to be false flag attacks with aliens, or they're saying they're going to. The main reason they say that the government doesn't come out, and they recently have basically said the UFOs are real, is they don't want the technology to come out because then all of a sudden their oil and their gas is worthless.
Yeah.
Which is why they suppressed like 95% of Tesla's inventions. You know what I mean? Because he's working for, he's going towards free energy and all that. And they can't make money off of that.
People just keep getting smoked too. Every fucking time.
I mean, but you know who Corey Good is, apparently.
Yeah. Yes, I do.
Is that who you're talking about, Ty?
Nope, but I'll tell you here in about 2 seconds.
So is that the government trying to, or the world government, if you will, trying to create mass panic so they can kind of bring in, they need more, it's not just nations now, it's going to be a government kind of monitoring the whole world to keep us all safe then?
Oh, David Wilcox.
Right. I think that's the idea. So like there's something they call the problem reaction solution. Is like a social engineering formula to get what they want. So they did it with Vietnam. For example, they wanted to go to war with Vietnam and they couldn't because the public wouldn't get behind it. I'm not talking over someone, am I? Sorry.
No,
No, it's me.
go ahead. Just continue.
So in Vietnam they couldn't get it because the public wouldn't support it. So what they do is they do like a false flag, the Gulf of Tonkin, and it creates a problem. And then they're the ones who provide the solution. Well, it just so happens to be the solution to the problem is what they wanted in the first place.
Right. Their military role.
So if they're going to do an alien false flag, I think at this point it wouldn't work. People are too knowledgeable with the subject, but the whole idea would be, oh, we need a one world government where you guys control everything because we have this threat in the sky and we need you to protect us, blah, 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 blah. That's how I see it going out if they did it.
So Jeremy Corbell was the person going against Dave Wilcox?
No, going against Stephen Greer.
Going against Stephen Greer.
And Stephen
That's
Greer's
what-
movement. They're
Huh.
using,
About the false
they're
flag
using
agenda was the
that-
Jeremy
the
Corbell.
UFO and disclosure as a military operations as to we should ignite and fight back against aliens versus welcoming aliens.
Yeah.
Because we should interpret them as a threat. Because if we go off history, every colony that colonizes
Speak into the
another
mic, you
colony
can't hear you.
is there to take for their resources.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, if we can reverse engineer UFOs and shit, it probably wouldn't be that hard for them to fake an
But
attack,
see,
if you will.
Right.
You know what I mean?
The thing
So-
about that is if they have the resources to get here, they don't need our resources.
Unless they're out of their
Like,
own.
Unless it's just our gold resources.
yeah.
Right. Not every planet produces the same.
Or our
energy.
women.
Oh, there you go.
Right.
or our men.
What is that
Hey?
movie?
Lucky for them.
Spacemen
they
are
like to
horny
grab
or something like
alien
that.
chicks.
Oh, shit.
You know that movie, Jeff
Give me one
Goldblum?
of the-
Yeah, lucky for them. We like to clap alien cheeks.
Yeah. You know, did you guys ever hear about the when they did the study on the human genome? They found that period of time where the humans evolved way faster than they were supposed to for about 200,000 years.
We're missing like a link, right? In the my
I'm not
buddy's
sure
all-
about that, but there's a study
it?
that says like, you know,
Bro, that's
evolution goes in this time. It goes every how many long the DNA changes. DNA is only supposed to change so much over a period of time, and there's like a 200,000 year period where human DNA goes like tenfold, just on
Yeah.
fire, and then stops. Like
It's
out of
basically
nowhere. And
the diagram of the monkey to the man. He's just saying that
Right.
you skipped like a huge chapter in it. Like it was super excelled. Basically what you're saying. So
David Icke, yeah, that's the guy I was talking about. That's my boy right there, David Icke.
okay.
There you go.
Hell
Yeah, he did mention that. And then we have another one. This is our mom in the comments. She said, the
Hello,
Great
Russell.
Awakening or the Great Reset? That is the question. Some people say the Great Awakening is a Great Reset, though, if you think about it that way.
Yeah, you're being woken up in a whole new way of thinking. So it's kind of both kind of go hand in hand.
You guys ever had any like out of body weird experiences like that?
Yeah, high
Um,
as fuck on some peyote.
I've actually had a few outside of allegedly doing DMT.
No shit.
Or
Yeah, one was
I had one.
looking in the mirror, though. I don't advise that one because that one gets really scary, but
Oh.
you can do it that way. You can like project yourself out as long as you stare at that mirror until you fall asleep.
Was that like a psychedelic induced or just staring at the mirror?
No, that was just staring at the mirror, falling asleep. Low lit.
Yeah,
room.
I had one
You got the-
Yeah,
non psychedelic
That's crazy.
induced, but it was definitely an eye opening experience for me.
Mine was psychedelic induced for sure.
I say I've had a few
Several.
psychedelics, and yeah, I was
Yeah.
like,
Dude, I've tried. I tried so hard to have psychedelic ones. I was like, yeah, give me the good shit. And I just stayed up. I tried a couple of psychedelics and I don't know if I got a bad batch, but it just wasn't like I was excited to go do it. I cleared out my schedule. All I did was I ended up writing this like memoir that was the dumbest thing you've ever read the next day when I read it.
I think we should get it published.
The
though.
fucking balloon hands.
Oh, no.
This fucking guy with his fucking balloon hands.
I'm pushing that one down deep. I'm taking that one to the grave.
Yeah. You come on up here, boy. We won't put you on some blacked out ayahuasca trip, but we'll show you the way.
We
Okay.
know-
You guys are where at in Colorado?
Montana, Bubba.
Montana. I'm coming.
True
I want to go
Montana.
hunting out there.
Yeah, we'll fucking show you a good time.
Willing to take a fan call.
Are you willing to take a fan call? Oh,
We
Mish,
got
what's
Mike and
up,
Mish.
fellas?
What up, brothers?
You just missed GOGO. He was in here. They're gonna fight on probably June 16th, is what they say.
So have you been to this area really before,
fan
Montana?
call? Shit, dude,
Idaho?
No.
Never
No, I
fought?
had actually, no, I fought there once years ago.
Oh.
I don't remember where.
Oh, damn, dude.
Yeah, give me a fan call. Ask me some I went to college for relationship psychology. Ask me some relationship advice. Question.
We got J Love 2.0 in this bitch now.
Ty, what'd you want?
Ask if any fans.
Oh, does anyone want to get on? Say hello. I thought Tyler.
I thought I had Jamie wants to jump on.
We're looking for a caller.
Wait, come on down.
See,
If you
Tyler,
want to call,
that's where you got to post your number in the link.
we have our
We
cell
get
phone
blown.
is in here
You
somewhere.
get
I'm
blown
pretty
the
sure.
fuck
Of it.
up.
I haven't seen it in a minute, but
Oh, it
Did
might
you
be-
guys know
it's in Elmhurst.
that
Hotel.
a group of ravens is not called a flock? It's called a conspiracy of ravens.
What is it really? I thought it was called the I thought it was
The
called the
murder?
murder. That's crows.
Yeah.
Oh, it's crows.
Murder of crows.
Murder of
Conspiracy of ravens.
That is going to be a damn good fight. I don't know where that card is yet. I don't think anyone does.
That
Murder
man
of crows. Yeah.
better be fucking in the United States. I'm not flying over the ocean again. I ain't like that.
Well, after that production that they had, I think they're gonna maybe ask them to beef a couple.
You know
things
what?
Up, so
Let's get it right here in Great Falls, Montana.
hell yeah, you heard it first.
No.
David. Let's get it
No,
up.
I ain't trying to deal with that
Yes, sir,
snow,
dude.
boy.
It's in June.
It'll be in
man.
June.
It'll be melted by then.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's-
Yeah,
You guys are what? How high up are you though? You're up in elevation.
35.
36.
30.
Yeah, we're
Oh, you're not bad. You're about where I'm at.
No. We went down to Albuquerque thinking it was going to be warm, dude. We hopped off the plane. It was snowing fucking sideways. We're like, great.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it was awesome. Maybe Hollywood, Florida. Oh, okay.
Oh, that'd be sick to see those guys in Hollywood.
Well, GOGO lives in Florida, so yeah, maybe Hollywood.
I'm a big fan. I like Florida. Florida used to be a shithole. DeSantis has flipped
know,
that state
I mean,
around pretty well.
Florida mans are always fucking beast. You know, they always got shit going on. Florida mans.
You
yeah.
guys remember the story of John Jones tackling a guy, a robbery, on fight day, the day he was supposed to fight. He went and fucking tackled some guy and like put him.
Oh yeah, he ran him down. Yeah, he put him down for
Damn.
John Jones ran some guy down.
Superhero.
I don't know what was that guy doing, trying to rob a lady or something. Either way, John Jones ran him fucking guy down a mile, put him in like a full Nelson until somebody else grabbed him. The
That's
cops were like, "Well,
fucking crazy.
John's got it."
What do you guys think about Dat Nugent coming back?
Hell yeah, we need some big names, Jeffrey. So that fight against Tierney, that was a contender elimination. So you're next up, you and GOGO for the belt then, or how does that work out?
Yeah, I think Palomino's he's not coming back to the division. From what I understand, he didn't say no, but he's just asking for a lot of money. And that's like a way to say no without saying no. So
Okay.
yeah, I think Palomino's done. And it's me and GOGO, and then look at the fucking top 5 in
You'd
the
say that
welterweight
already.
division. Bunch of killers, bro. Caleb Harris, everyone in the top 5, a killer, man.
Nice.
So I
You
think
got a killer
I think it's a-
division. That division's stacked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're in the 171, right?
No.
Well,
65.
65.
65,
I don't know
yeah.
why I thought it said.
What are you? Are you high? This
I
guy over
win.
here-
I win.
171.
I'm sobering up now. My questions are becoming terrible. I'm sorry.
No, well, like BKFC, they had me at 175 because my first fight was at 75, but everything else has been 65.
Okay. Okay. Right.
GOGO's a fucking scary dude, isn't he?
Yeah, dude,
He's a big scary
he's
boy.
the Terminator, man, because he is an on and
Burrito,
off switch,
yeah,
you know, he
a good one.
has that. He has 2 modes. GOGO on the normal, which is kind of just a monotone, laid back version, and then he has GOGO who's in the ring. 2 different guys. You know, a very like you said.
And then there's after fight GOGO, so 3 different guys.
I mean, that's very common. Fighters have, like I said, it's a form of self-expression. So when you're in the ring, you're expressing a different part of yourself than you probably project normally.
Yeah.
So
Burrito is in that division. Hell yeah, he is. Fuck yeah, like that bitch
Burrito's
tough,
fighting
dude.
in UK.
Yeah, he is. He's is he main? Yeah.
He's main event. Yep.
Main event in the next UK card is Burrito.
So what's kind of the do you have a date when you would even think about hanging it up, or what's kind of the end game for you, the goal? Obviously,
honestly,
the belt, you know. So
yeah, I was gonna retire like my last 7 fights. I just keep doing it, you know.
just keep slanging that shit.
He's like, as long
I mean-
as I keep winning, I keep fighting. Hell yeah.
The fire just doesn't go out.
Try to get the deal, right?
It just doesn't go out. I have a lot of other goals. I'm like writing a book right now. I'm doing all this other shit, and I get kind of annoyed sometimes because I have to stay in shape. I want to do all these other things. But if I don't work out like a monster, and I don't, men regulate testosterone through a couple different ways: through fucking, through fighting or through hunting, and your body will like you will simulate those. Like working out is like a fight or a hunt. You know, if I don't go hard, I start becoming a not very nice person to be around. My testosterone builds up. I'll be like at the grocery store, and some guy will be like, "Hey, can I help you find something?" And internally, I want to smash his face against the wall for no reason.
I know how to fucking read.
No, I don't need no fucking help, right? So I just, I'm going to keep going until I decide I don't want to go anymore. The fire has not even close to going out. I feel physically good. I'm 36, but I feel fantastic. So
you look good out
Yeah, I
there,
was
bro.
just like,
I know. Yeah, that's right. I look good, boy.
Yeah.
Come on,
Come on, dog.
dude. I have two styles. I have looking good or homeless. One of the two.
Word, I feel that.
I don't have like a middle ground.
You mentioned the testosterone
Very true.
thing. Jake Paul just got done talking about this 2 days ago. He's saying that, he brought it up. He's like, I didn't lose because of this. He's like, I just find it interesting that I lost on the night.
he's trying to put it together like that, though.
He's like, no, he's just putting coincidences together. You know what I mean? And it's not taboo. What he's saying is fact. They all talk about it.
The night he did what?
He nutted.
He had a wet dream.
He had a wet dream.
To the fight.
Woke up and told his mom about it. And then the next night, he
no.
Coincidental that I nutted prior to the fight and lost. He's like, I didn't do that with any of my other ones. He's like, but that's true.
That's crazy. Here's a question. Here's $1 million question. What was the dream about? That's a question.
Well,
that
then you
is a damn good question.
run and tell your mom immediately. That's fucking.
Yeah,
Hey, mom.
that's a little bit. Hey,
Tough, mom.
Logan, I was gonna say, Logan said he had one before his fight too. So I think, was that the KSI fight though? I think it was.
No, it was a Floyd Mayweather fight.
Was it?
Yeah, the Floyd.
there's something to be said for that though. So like the science behind it is this. I used to do this shit when I was an amateur. Your testosterone, if you don't mate, quote unquote, your testosterone will slowly elevate and peak after a certain period of time, about 3 months.
Yeah.
But if you overdo it and you don't mate, for lack of a better term, with yourself or with a woman, it doesn't matter, right? Your testosterone will start to drop down, and that's what happens to guys. Here's some game for you. If you get married, what happens is that sex dries up, and testosterone is very hard on the male body. It actually kills men over time. So if you're not using it, your body says, "Okay, shut it down. We don't need it. We're not fighting. We're not hunting." So you get these guys who get married, they're fucking all the time, then they stop having sex with their wives, and a year later they're skinny fat. That's the reason right there. So there is some truth to that. Like I don't know about nutting, not being able to fight the next day, but
Thank you for having sex with me. I appreciate it.
I was gonna say I also have sex often, so
I do that thing.
okay.
Shout out to our ladies.
But that's so we use our testosterone so we don't lose our testosterone. You know what I mean? So
I came up with
gotta keep it up.
the other day at Levi's house. Actually, we were just talking, and we were talking about our boys all, and it just hit me like a ton of shit. I said, listen to this theory, Levi. I said, have you ever noticed men who live with other men nonstop, like 24/7, guys who have bromates and shit, roommates, and like a house full of men, fraternities, whatever the fuck it may be, right? Most of those, I'm gonna say a good 80% of those motherfuckers that I know that live in households of men, like J Dog and his brother, and then we got the little Cassies, and such and such. All of those men don't produce babies. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, so if you
that we know of, but Jason, anyways.
Well, right, that's statistically true. Even if you wanted to even add Jason as a random, and there's a maybe in there, statistically none of them have babies, right? So, and then you, it's kind of like, so you pack up and they're all fucking, so it's not like they're not having sex, right?
Yeah.
You pack in like all this testosterone, but somewhere in the body, the chemicals don't mix to where it puts out a baby. Like a baby sperm, you know what I mean? A baby maker, and it's just useless sperm. Somewhere along the process, it seems like if you get a man that's married or away from a pack of men, you notice that guy who maybe
Christian never lets it lay though.
Maybe and goes and fucks around.
Yeah,
he's the one that seems to have the babies.
So do you think it's kind of like how women this is a terrible comparison, but like how women sync up with their period, and you get a bunch of dudes
Right.
in that fucking savage mind mode, and they're like, "Nah, we ain't procreate.
We're just smashing. We don't want no baby.
Yeah, we're
Right.
just fucking.
We're just coming on faces and on asses. Let's get it on.
Right, and
Brr.
somewhere along in the chemical makeup, when the men get a little more isolated from one another, you could tell maybe the chemistry wants to family up or something. And like it's like the chemistry in the biology makeup completely change, and all of a sudden it shifts to baby making sperm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you actually have a good point there. So one thing that people don't realize is men have pairing hormones as well, but it goes off of pheromones. So if you're around a woman a lot, not just like once, but if you're around her on a regular basis and she's ovulating, the hormone production in your brain changes. So there's probably some truth to that. Like if they're around their boys all the time, they don't get the pheromones. But you're on a bunch of women or a chick who's ovulating, those pheromones hit you, and all of a sudden, boom, your brain chemistry changes.
It's like a shark with blood in the water.
Well,
Yeah, I can smell that shit, bitch. I'm coming.
when we're around something that we're attracted to, our body like releases odors. And
That's what I'm
shit,
saying. Like so, somewhere without us essentially knowing, our subconsciously switches our brains over to sexually produce and reproduce.
I was just listening. We're on kind of a similar path with what we're discussing, but I was listening to this dude on that podcast I was telling you about. They're talking about semen retention. Have you heard anything about that before?
Yeah, for sure.
From what the fuck was the guy?
That's actually go.
It was just really interesting what they're talking. It was this dude Danny Morell, and they were talking with I can't remember what the fuck this guy's name is, but just really interesting what they were talking about. Like men, kind of, you're still like psychologically busting a nut, but you're retaining the semen. And,
right.
It was fucking nuts, and I kind of wanted to look into it more because what he was saying was very, very interesting.
I just had a baby. Actually, there's another thing that happened this camp. I had a son 3 weeks for the fight, so I was doing some semen retention at that point already. But here's one thing I thought about semen retention. Tell me what you guys think about this. So like the idea is you hold it in, you focus, and you get all the positives, which is true because I remember. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I believe what he was saying is that you focus the energy, like what you're producing in your mind, the experience, the orgasm, but you're focusing the energy and like shooting it kind of like up your spine and into your brain. I feel like from what I'd have to look up into this shit more, but yeah,
that's so deep, Jake. I don't know what that even means.
Exactly.
It always goes deep, baby.
What was I saying though? But like the idea, you don't come or whatever, and you get all these benefits. But like I was thinking, okay, that's awesome. Because I remember when you're like 14, you're jacking off 17 times a day. It's hard to focus. Makes sense.
The record was 23, but thank you.
My D pluses.
What? Yeah.
I'm just fucking with you.
Girls don't even know. They don't know the struggle. I don't want to hear it. It's like you're literally begging God, can I please just stop jacking off? I just want to be done with it.
No, dude. I think it's a little fruity to fucking hold semen like that, dog. You're supposed to let go. I heard that you have way more health benefits of daily release than trying to hold on to it.
Right.
Or a week or two at a time, right?
Right.
Like
You're more chemically balanced out within your brain when you release once a day, is what the doctors.
But with the retention, they're still experiencing the orgasm and everything that goes on psychologically. So you're still creating a chemical reaction. You're just not releasing the semen. So the dude was saying it's like you're creating.
That sounds like a homo agenda.
He said you're creating like a, you're kind of how did he word it? Like you're the master of your own body kind of thing. I don't know. I literally just heard about
the master of the universe.
Just holding it and then they have like 5 years.
All day just by their mind.
They have a cum pouch.
Yeah, they just meditate. And they just fucking start gassing over there.
Yeah, that's why they think so. The river, because they just keep coming.
Oh my god!
Think about the most masculine men you've ever met in history. You think Alexander the Great wasn't fucking? He was fucking.
He was boning hella little boys, dude.
For some reason.
Yeah. So
Alexander the Great, he was.
Yeah,
he was from Macedonia. You're right.
He was.
No, I said he was banging hella little boys.
You think he puts out gay vibes too?
I just feel like in that time period, that shit wasn't like.
Hold on.
Paintings, dog. He looks.
He wasn't banging no little boys. What are you talking about?
I don't know, man. I don't know, dude. I don't know, but just most of those guys.
He ain't the Pope.
That time period,
Bong.
they all fucking. they all were doing it.
He's just shooting from the hip at this point.
Look, that's something I would not. I don't care what time period I lived in. I'm like, I'm not partaking. I shall pass.
100%.
You know.
Yeah, no, I'm not
There
condoning
was a
it.
study that said,
300, dude, was like, they're a bunch of dudes, dude.
oh, so then we're just going to start busting. That's true. The study said that the more you release, the less chance you have to develop prostate cancer. Well, I don't feel like getting my butt touched at 40, so I'm going to keep coming.
Get it done. That sounds like a good excuse a guy will like come up with for a girl on a date.
We got Mike and Mitch doing fucking side work for us, boys. Thank you very much. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Baby, I got to do it. I don't want to get cancer.
Anybody sending us stars? I want to take a quick second to say thank you. Anyone sending us stars?
Stars, baby. My mouth is hurting, by the way. For those who
That's
wonder,
what she said.
I've been sitting out most of this episode because I have an implant in the front of my face that is literally loose, and I need to go see a dentist really bad. So my face is swollen. I'm trying not to smile, even though these boys are fucking hilarious.
Larissa.
Let's see what she said.
This is very interesting. What your superpowers are created in retention of semen. The Egyptians practice it, and the Hindus, I believe. You can search it. And I forgot the name of the practice. Thank you very much.
The whole time
I think it's called retention.
Talking about jacking off, I've been skiing over here.
Yeah. Ain't no semen retention today, baby.
I think the only thing to do here is for us 4 or us 5 to do a study. Personally.
Oh, I've already started working on it.
Okay.
I was doing the no hands crankdown right now. And you guys
just focus.
That's workaholic
Are we
shit.
trying to gather a group setting circle jerk? What are we doing?
No soggy biscuits.
So June 16th after the fights, we're jerking circles.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, I'm not doing that shit.
Squirt or not to squirt? That is the question.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
I'm busting daily and nightly. So
You ever notice, like, if you don't, you get, like I said, you get kind of, you become like a dick. You're short with people. You're not nice to your girlfriend. You start being an asshole. Like, I gotta do it. You gotta do it.
Yep, I'm with you, man. If I retain, I'm a fucking asshole, and I notice it, dude. Like just every little thing. Yeah, and that's probably because I got an issue. You know, that's a mental health issue. I bet.
I still love you.
It's okay.
Shout out to anyone going through the struggle out there. You were talking to Jake that you kind of use that as an inspiration to kind of get over tough times in the fight. And I just wanted to say, I'm sure all of us know a lot of people out there struggling, having a hard time. And I just wanted to personally say I love all of you. Congrats to you, Jake, for being able to rise up over some of your tough shit that you've had to go through. I've unfortunately had a few people very close to me that I've had to watch pass away from cancer. So just any of you out there that are listening and watching, we all love you. Thank you for the support and just
absolutely
keep grinding.
Damn,
anybody can hit me up at any time.
Fuck yeah, that's awesome.
So
yeah, I'm an open book. Anyone can hit me up. I love talking to people. I wanted to be a therapist when I was younger. I just didn't want to go to the schooling. I could probably test out, to be fucking honest with you. If I could test out of a master's in psychology, I probably could. But I want to be a therapist. You know, there's just nothing more meaningful. And this is one of the reasons I wanted to retire before, too, not the rant. But I can't really help. I have all these goals. Like I'm writing the book. I wanted to open a mental health clinic and all this. It's just hard to do when you're fighting. Now you can inspire people through fighting. You can do all these things.
Yeah.
But it's hard to really, you know, get my hands out there in the real world and kind of get to that position where I could start really doing some good outside of myself.
Just talking about it.
Yeah, just talking about it. You kind of have to get your hands dirty in that, but.
It starts the conversation, at least. Tylen, what were you about to say?
I also wanted to the second what Jake said. I offer my condolences for your mother and your grieving process. And we also I want time out for we lost someone really close to our family this week, actually, and one of my best friends, one of my mentors, and also my cousin. He passed away a few days ago from a heart attack, and. Yeah, I just want to say I love you, man, and I'm gonna miss you for the rest of my life, man. Yeah. Sorry, you guys. I didn't mean to change the tune or anything. I just wanted to make that known that, you know, I may get weird at times in the next following months. I don't know. I'm gonna monitor myself as much as possible. I've been well aware of my mental health and trying to track it for a lot of the viewers and followers that follow me, and a lot of my audience because I think it's important that men can be vulnerable too and speak on mental health. I'm viewed as kind of a person to be looked up on with like I'm admired by some people that just come out and say it, and it really shocks me and humbles me sometimes. But like I come from being a felon and shit and pulling myself out of the fucking gutter and changing my life. So where a lot of people look up to me, where I want to use my platform also as an example that, shit gets hard, bro. But what matters is making memories with the people you love and becoming a better example for the people you leave behind.
Word.
And
Absolutely, man.
Things that I'm 33 now. I wish I would have learned a lot fucking sooner.
You're here now.
And I want to honor my cousin a little more. And I just wish I would have been able to call him a lot more. And if you miss people that have passed, that's one of the things that you get reminded when they do pass is that you should talk to the people you love more. So shout out to my cousin Vic. I love you with all my heart, man.
I've also heard recently that if you feel like calling somebody, pick up the phone and call them. So
yeah.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean?
I'll tell you right now, I've called the suicide hotline. 100%. It's just someone to talk to. The hardest thing to go through, one of the hardest things and most painful things to go through as a person, and like you just touched on it right there, is time and inattention. Is realizing all the time you didn't pay attention to.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
Yeah.
And that's hard to come by. I think to be a great man, I think every man, you're not a real man unless you go through adversity. That's what makes a man. And there is a kind of a stigma of men being, strong and not being able to be vulnerable, but there's strength in saying, hey, yeah, I'm sucking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm struggling. Look at Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
Boom.
He's a fucking
right there.
Person to look up to, man. When it comes to, and the successes he had in battling through.
Mike and Mitch, thank you for pulling that up. If you do need to call somebody, the suicide hotline number has changed. It is now a 3-digit number, 988.
Shout out.
So
yeah, I tell my wife all the time, it's kind of fun to, for me, I've experienced some crazy shit when I was younger, and it's always kind of been fun shattering the stereotypes of what like a strong man can be. It's like, yes, I have a beard and I'm a little bit bigger and I do construction, but it's always been fun to, be a little vulnerable, be able to, show
right.
ways that are like, oh, I want to look like a pussy. And it's like, all right, well, I'll do it first. If that's if you want to call me a pussy.
You are that guy, man. I guess I've never really thought about it like that.
It's just fun to put that vibe out.
Jake's cool, man. Because Jake's one of the first dudes, I'm going to commend you on your sobriety, bro. That he can hang out in a bar and just order a fucking
NA, Bush NA.
And he hangs out like one of the boys. You want to know the fucking difference. And, I know that's a huge stigma for people who don't want to drink or don't know how to have fun when they quit drinking. Jake is one of those guys that prove it all the time that fucking it's completely possible.
Yeah. And just
that's hard, man. It's impressive.
It is impressive, dude. This guy's a fucking stud, dude. He comes through on the time for the show. Jake's a fucking one of the kind guy, man. You Jakes are good peoples.
You guys are breaking me up here. It's not. It's
actually
not, I'm not that good of a guy. It's
all 3 Jakes recently.
Yeah.
Sick. Shout out to Jake Boswick.
Yeah. I'm just glad if saying one thing openly can help some people, open up a little bit and just be like, hey, that guy's, kind of looks. I'm not saying I'm a badass by any means, but I consider myself a man. I like guns. I like fucking.
Yeah. Around. Well, like people, they underestimate how interesting their lives are.
Yeah.
Right. Like
nobody knows.
Individually, like people go through. Jordan Peterson said, like when you're doing therapy, if you're not talking about something crazy, like really interesting, you're not doing real therapy because people's lives they're incredible. Everyone thinks they're boring, right? Like everyone's like, yeah, I'm just a guy from here. And then you listen to their story, like, holy shit. Like you went through all that stuff. That's crazy.
Yeah. You're not just your name, age, and address. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you take the time to really look at it, there's something truly like, I don't know, like magical about life. Like every day, man, if you take the time to really stop and just look at it, there's some just crazy. I have no fucking things off the top of my head, but my wife and I feel like we're constantly just, you randomly bump into someone that knew someone through so-and-so, or you have these just weird coincidence all the time, and you can choose to not really pay that much attention and be whatever, you can just, kind of just sit in the awe of what is the cosmic universe, and just
Right.
it's fun. It's fun for me, and that's just kind of my outlook towards shit. Is I just want to enjoy life in every aspect. It doesn't have to be some crazy shit always happening to me. You know what I mean? My sister's thing was a ladybug, so whenever I see a ladybug, dude, it always seems to be like when I'm thinking about her too. And it's at weird times, dude, where I'm just really down and I'll have like a ladybug like land on my arm. I'll look over and there's a ladybug, and it's just like
There's
I said,
definitely synchronicity, in our existence for sure.
when I
One
need
thing
it.
also to kind of touch back on the mental health thing is one thing people got to realize is when you can feel incredibly low. Like people don't realize with depression how low people feel. It's very easy to say, well, it's not that bad comparatively to whoever else. But people can be in the pits of hell and they can look on the outside like they're doing just fine. But here, for people feeling like that, here's the thing. Like I said, I've been there. I've been down, right? Like I don't even want to start explaining the thoughts I've thought before. But you don't have the perspective. There's always that next day. It's that 1 second decision. Like I talked about in a fight, like when you're down, you're knocked down, it's that 1 second decision to keep going forward. And I feel like with age, and I always tell people who struggle, I'm like, with age, you'll have the tools to go back and digest all that happened and figure out what happened and how it happened. So you just got to give it time, man. Anyone who's thinking about suicide, that is not the answer. Just give it time, one more day at a time, and you can pull through it for sure.
Yeah, ask him on all those names.
Oh shit, Nugent. Okay, that's a great topic.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we got a little deep there, didn't we?
Sorry about that.
No, that was good.
I spiraled that off there.
To the viewers, thank you guys for tuning in, giving comments, but I wanted to get into some fight predictions for the next, we'll say 2 events here. We'll just go over the mains. Del Rey. Well, there's a lot going on in Del Rey, actually. Hold on.
Who do you guys got for Doolittle, Jake Boswick?
Boswick.
You got stoppage?
Stoppage?
I don't know, dude. That Boswick dude's a bad.
It could go the distance,
bro.
but I think Jake ends it in 4. I don't know why.
Oh yeah, I got to take off here in a minute. I had one more question for you.
Okay.
I noticed that in 2 of your cards, you were on a Richmond card. Obviously, you're a great fighter, know how to bang, but is it kind of like an unspoken, like, good luck thing if you're on a Richmond card? You got two W's on
Dude,
a
hell yeah. I think so. I think so. I think he's got that swagger and he's got the mustache. He's got everything. I'm a big fan of Mike Richmond. He knocked out my boy David Rickles. We're under the same management company, so
Yeah.
I think so, man. You get that Mike Richmond swagger. He walks, and that motherfucker. I'll tell you one thing. He's in the zone all the time. Like in the weigh-ins, at the pre-fight rules meeting, he's in the zone, and I can't do that. I don't even get serious until about an hour before. I'm just hanging out, but that motherfucker is an intense guy.
Once again,
And it shows, man. And I love his. I think he's one of the best bare knuckle fighting. Even with his last loss. I think he's still.
Was intense when we got there.
Yeah, he's an intense guy. I would get behind that statement.
All right. Before I take off, I just wanted to say St. Patty's Day, the Carpenters Union Local 82 is going to be marching in the parade. So if you guys want to come down and support the local union, Carpenters, baby, get on down to the parade. We'll be tossing out hella candy. So I love you all, and I'll be seeing you soon.
Thanks, sir.
Hey, thanks again, Jake. It was really awesome talking to you, man, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the future, brother.
Hey, man, appreciate it. Anything you guys need from me, let me know.
I'm jumping on.
I'm just taking
I still
off.
wanted to get
to.
to. As I say, Fen Dog is out of here. Fen Dog 2020. That's what we call him because he's Mad Dog 2020.
Peace out, brother.
Yeah, all right, brother.
Hit me up when you're done. I'll have a fire rolling at the house.
Yeah, we'll
Smoke a little pot. All right, we'll do that.
Sounds
So in Del Rey, we got man, I don't even know. I'm gonna
Don't raise a huge fucking card, bro. There's a bunch of people on that.
Nugent versus
Just say Dat versus Strauss.
Dat versus Strauss. Who you got in that, man?
Dat by far. I think
You
Dat
got that? Okay.
by far.
Why by
Dat beat
far? Why by
Palomino.
far?
Yeah, why by far?
Because I think Dat beat Palomino. I think Dat has a abnormally high fight IQ. I've watched his boxing career. I think he, like I said, I think he beat Palomino. I think he just chews Strauss up. I don't think Strauss has the formula to beat him. And Strauss is really good, but he's coming off a fucking long layoff. So is Dat, but that's not going to affect a guy like him.
Even with the clinch, you don't think there's a standing chance.
Nope. I think Dat chews his ass up.
I think Dat is furious, bro. I mean, like he is a ferocious fucking little fighter, dude. I also have Dat picked. Nothing against Strauss. It's just like he's just energetic and he's really he's fierce. He's very fierce.
Everybody wait.
He's really fierce, man. We'll see here in a little bit. We'll smoke some weed.
What are they fighting at?
What's the weight at for Dat?
135, isn't it?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's got to be 135. I'm almost positive.
That sounds right.
Yeah, let me check.
Maybe I'm not sure.
Check it out, Levi. Or just keep going. Anyways, and then the next one we had
that's the Reggie card. The next Norfolk, Virginia. Reggie.
Yeah, the Virginia card, and we got two big names on that. Two big fights, anyways. We got two belt fights, I think, isn't it?
Is it
one Barnett belt fight, and the other one with Hart
and Savage? Yep.
Yeah.
Who's Barnett fighting?
Cedar Mom. I've never heard of him, so I don't know.
Some tough ass like Russian guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know him. I think I got Reggie no matter what, right? Man. Just because
I thought it was 135. They're fighting at feather.
Okay.
So 145.
Well, that would make sense then, because that would push those guys into rankings if either one of them win.
That's very true.
Well, Dad especially would push him into rankings. Which would be fucking insane, dude. I don't know where it would place him, but it'd definitely push him into
win that belt.
Probably push out Rusty.
Right? I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, probably.
Because I think Rusty's 5 right now. I'm not sure.
So we got the girls on that card that's coming up. I have Reggie no matter what. I just think he's such a technical fighter. It's gonna be really hard to beat Reggie unless you.
Oh, Reggie can put those things where he wants them. So
and Reggie has a chin like a motherfucker.
Out of the girls, though, I don't know on that. I'm gonna go Savage, but I think that's just because, man, she's been
working with Misfits too. I just seen her post a fucking post with Christine, so she's working hand in hand with Christine.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with Jenny Savage on that one.
Britton's going through some shit. It looks like she's having relationship issues. She's going into a weird training camp. I also got Jenny.
Yeah, you can't be having no baby daddy drama mid-fight camp.
Yeah, you got something going on there, and I know her head's probably not in the right space to get in a good training camp with her distracted with relationship issues. So I got Jenny. The next card, the big one, is a fucking Denver card. Who do you got? Mike Perry versus Luke.
Dude, I want Mike Perry to win so bad.
I do too, dude.
I love me some Mike Perry.
Luke Rockhold is such a thug, though, dude. But he's
fucking gigantic.
Yeah,
he's being his first bare knuckle fight. I don't know. I'm going.
I think he's gonna have such a hard time breaking the MMA roots inside of him. You know, that I think he's walking into a whole new game.
I think the weight cut's gonna kill him too, because he just fought at 205. What are they fighting at? 90?
185, right?
85, I believe.
Yeah, or 175.
Perry's gonna be fucking feeling good, full of energy. Now Perry's tiny. He's shorter than I am, and Rockhold's gigantic. So I think Perry lasts for
5'7".
I think Perry gets on the inside though and just starts mucking him up.
Right.
Just gets out, makes it dirty, you know.
Yeah, I think Mike is just going to work him. I think Mike is going to outclass him in striking, and it's mostly because he knows the ring, if you will. You know, he knows the ropes. He's been there a few times. It's you hear every fighter who's ever fought in boxing or MMA, they all say the same shit. It's just way different. BKC is just a total different monster now, and I think a lot of the professional fighters are starting to see how fucking real it is and how professional it is, and it's very different. So when Luke coming over from literally just getting out of the UFC, I think he's going to struggle with kind of the transition of what goes on here.
And he kind of gets in his own head too, which is another thing. He's going to
he might
act confident, but he gets his own fucking head, and he's going to be like, well,
he's super confident. If you're paying attention to him right now, he's saying that he's in the best shape of his life. He's in the best shape. He's in better shape than when he last fought, and he's taking this fight extremely serious because he
plans on making this a second home. It sounds like.
They're fucking paying.
Fucking get it on.
What about Chad Mendez, Eddie Alvarez?
Oh,
Dude, if Eddie's on the juice again,
major fight. Yeah.
I'm
I
going
like
Mendez.
I got Alvarez.
Really?
I got Alvarez, man. I think Mendez probably clips him, puts him down once or twice. I think Eddie gets up. I think Mendez can kind of. If he can't put you out and like bully you around, he kind of like mentally backs down a bit. But I want to. They're fighting at 65, right?
You say you don't watch fights. You
Those
seem
guys,
to know
yeah.
you know the fighters pretty
65.
well, actually.
Well, those guys have been around for a long time. You know what I mean? So, but I've had a dream of fighting Eddie Alvarez for years. So I'm hoping he gets a W and maybe I can get him.
I'm probably picking him because I really like Eddie's older career. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
I got Eddie Alvarez because I just think he's a fucking full-on dog, dude. I don't think there's and no matter what Chad brings to the table, I think Eddie's gonna have an answer for it.
We have 4 big fights there though, because then we also have another female fight, fucking Christine versus Beck as well. So Christine all day for me.
Faria's a
All
heavy favorite
I was like, no Christian
for
in
obvious
Faria.
reasons.
that's my girl, dog.
That's right.
yeah, she's gonna win.
If you guys haven't ever seen that, go back and watch our episode with Christine Faria. Christian was having the greatest time of his life.
Oh, dude, that was a long.
Here's another thing about Alvarez too. I just thought about. So like he's known for getting rocked and then fucking slaying and still.
That is exactly
Now
why I'm
he gets
saying-
10 seconds to recover. He's so hard to finish normally. Now
That's
he
what
gets 10 seconds.
That's what I was
So-
saying with Chad Mendez. He can bring anything he wants to the table because I think Eddie Alvarez will have an answer for it. Even off a knockdown, I think he'll get up. You know, I think you even said it that he may get knocked down once or twice or whatever, but I think Eddie will end it. Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Okay. And you said
Backflip, no backflips though.
I got Faria.
No
Yeah,
backflip.
I mean, there's no fucking doubt. I think you know, and I'm sure, and I say this respectfully towards Rowdy Beck, that I like her as a person and as a fighter, but I watched her get banged up against Britain, and I watched Christine manhandle Britain.
right.
Women
I
handle
don't
whatever.
think anyone beats her.
I don't either. I don't got any girl picking. I said this on the show. I said, dude, I don't care if you grab your star UFC fighter and you put him in a bare knuckle ring. Nobody's beating Christine. Not in her weight classes.
No, not right now. Not at all.
You can bring your best girl boxers over, and you could bring
Let's use Kai's thing. Bring anyone you want, but don't bring anyone you want back.
facts.
There you go.
Yeah.
Send
Are you
anyone.
familiar with our boy Kai Stewart?
Who?
That's all right. Oh, Kai Stewart.
Kai Stewart out of the 145.
Yes,
Yeah,
I am.
boy.
He's a little banger.
Oh yeah.
Who would you like to see him line up against next? The most.
Whoever makes him the most money.
Let's
you
go,
go.
man.
Hell
Yeah. Now you're speaking like a real fighter, man. That's what's
That's what
up.
it's all about, man. That's what it's all about.
Got to get that paper.
Man, that confrontation with Gogo is a little awkward. I think I was a little. I wasn't expecting, Gogo to. Gogo is a stern individual, but I didn't really know what to expect bringing Gogo onto the show. With
I
you,
just thought it was a good idea, and I thought it was so.
Yeah, it was great.
It is
It was
Levi's
great.
idea. Let's throw credit where credit deserves. We didn't know how that was going to go, and I'm just happy that it went, pretty close. You know what I mean? I didn't really know what to expect because either one of you guys are going to line up. It sounds like the stars have aligned themselves, and we're about to get a banger in the process of it.
Well, dude, I can get hyper aggressive, but at this stage of my career, there's no point. Like I said, I respect him as a fighter and stuff, and he seems like a pretty intelligent guy. I don't know how long he's been fighting, but he clearly has some combat sport experience. So it's when you're both very serious, it's kind of hard to get into the bullshit smack talk.
Yeah.
We were just both very serious, open, honest. He said he thought I was counting him out. I was like, no, this is just my opinion of you, take it for what it is. And he didn't whine about it or nothing like that. So I think it was a good little first confrontation. We'll probably get after it. The weigh-ins are going to be fucking intense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're
you
gonna
said
get
before
after it
you
a bit more later on,
watch
probably.
fights that much also. So
Ryan Perez jumped in the comments. I don't know if you've seen it or if it slid by or if it was up on the board at all, but he said, you don't fucking know about Slaughterhouse or GOGO or our name. He's like, but you're about to fucking find out.
I can find it. It's up here.
Hey, man. Good. I mean, that's what I said. That's what I'm here for. Please show me. Show me.
So are you going to go with a bearded look? Because I prefer the mustache myself. I think the mustache rocks, bro.
I look like a homeless guy in my last fight. I literally took a nap in the back.
I didn't recognize you when you came out. You didn't look like the guy I was looking for, man.
I didn't have the slick hair or nothing. I fell asleep in the back and my hair was all fucked up.
Dude, I didn't know. I was like, that doesn't look like Jake Lindsey, dude.
No, dude,
you weren't the slick.
I just had a baby. So like I didn't have time to get all cleaned up. I didn't give a fuck at that point. I was like, I'm not shaving my face. I'm not doing my hair. Let's just go get it done.
You know what I really loved about you and Connor's fight, you guys, is that you guys actually look like the real old school bare knuckle fighters in there.
Yeah, it looked like your hand should have been turned out.
Yeah, no, you guys both had that old school like boxing stance. Yeah, man, it was fucking awesome, dude. It was so traditional, and it gave us a traditional feel of what it would have been like in the early 1900s, watching somebody bang it out in one of those bigger, older settings. That's what it felt like. It was really cool.
He has a lot of like wisdom. He has a lot of fight wisdom in him for his age. He's only 28, but you can tell he's got a lot. He's got like what 60 amateur fights.
Yeah, he got a ton of boxing. Yeah,
I think
so. Like those you guys can tell me. Those Slaughterhouse guys are pretty. They're pretty intense, huh?
Yeah, Slaughterhouse is fucking
good. In my opinion, and I'm being biased here because our sponsors Guerrilla Warfare, and not only do we do a lot of business with those guys, a lot of work with those guys, but I know them as individuals, like most of them, and they're very, 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 very group oriented, and they're very, very, very true to their word when it comes to exercise. Yes, they're extremely dedicated to their craft, and I think a lot of the times Slaughterhouse proves it on the proving grounds in the ring. They've had a few bad nights where I've seen they've taken a couple losses, but it doesn't happen very often. You look at their win-to-loss ratio; it's fucking insane.
I mean, everyone loses, so there's no shame in that. That's awesome, man. I like that. That kind of reminds me of. I have a very intense core group of people around me. They're not really out in the public per se, but that's awesome, man. That's going to make. I'm just hoping. The only thing if it's going to be in Florida, I'm sure there'll be some drama of some sort. I mean, I love fighting guys like that. Those are my kind of guys.
Yeah,
I think guys like that around me.
I think you're right. The weigh-ins and the presser is going to be a way different environment than the phone call that we had.
Maybe we talked to you guys like the week before. We'll see if anything's changed since then.
Who knows? We might be live.
We might be live. It depends on where it is.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, if you guys are on the West,
invited out.
Yeah, if you guys are closer to the West Coast, we're more than likely going to be over. But if it's East Coast, it's more than likely.
And if it so happens to land in Great Falls, Montana, we'll be squared circle side.
By that point, they might be.
I'm sure it's going to be in Florida. He's the draw. He's more popular than me. That's where they're going to put it. And that's fine.
And like he said, he does have a massive fucking following. You notice it when you're in the media. We work with GOGO, and when we put anything out GOGO related, it blows up. He has a
people were like commenting on my Instagram. They kept saying GOGO, and I was like, this is before I knew like what was going down. I'm like, what the fuck did they? I was like, why do they keep saying that? I didn't know what the fuck was going on. No fucking idea.
They're like, I am going. I'm fucking going. I'll be there. I'll be at the fight. Jesus.
I gotta go smoke some weed. My teeth are hurting. If you guys have any questions or topics,
I just wanted to say that Amber Fields and DJ Tony agreed to come on, so we'll have Face Off Radio as a episode.
Oh, shout out Vince Anderson and Only Hands.
Oh yeah,
fuck yeah, dude.
I'm wearing my fucking trucker cap.
Dope ass group, man. If you guys love bare knuckle and you're on Facebook, check out Only Hands and Vince Anderson's group.
Fucking, I dented I sat on my hat was under my pillow on my couch, so I fucking sat on my warfare hat.
They're really cool group it seems like it's a non-biased group of bare knuckle fans and fighters and promoters. Everybody's there that wants to be there, and it's a cool ass group because it's super interactive, and everyone's highly engaged. Also, I want to shout out Mike and Mish. I want to shout out Big Boy Podcast. You guys have been fucking with us heavy. Shout out to Strong Power Peace and
Strong Peace Power, James Randall.
And James Randall, yep. And let's give a shout out to our sponsors real quick.
Let Jake shout out his sponsors and we'll do ours. Jake, if you have any sponsors, you get it on.
Boom. Kevin Smith Management. Let's go, baby. Combative Sports Center, KO Boxing. I love you. Lions, not sheep. Sheep are many, lions are few. Let's fucking go.
That's it?
That's it.
Nice. Oh, that was fucking easy.
So, with that being said, shout out to our sponsors, Guerrilla Warfare Apparel. Best gear in the fight world. Get it.
You think they'd sponsor me?
Huh?
You don't think they'd sponsor me, would you?
Shane? More than likely.
Are you looking for a management or sponsorship deal?
If you, yeah.
I'm always, dude. I'm a money guy.
Shane Smith, man.
All right,
I'm always Shane Smith. Oh,
yeah.
Dude, give me the details. I'm a money guy. I'm a businessman at heart. So,
well, let's talk in the DMs, my man.
Yeah, that is the dude. But to get your fight gear, TWB10 at checkout. You can see it right there in the bottom of our picture. 20 past 4, your one-stop vape and head shop. 4 locations, 2 in Great Falls, 1 in Helena, 1 in Billings. Stop in, check it out. They get new shit all the time. Hudson's Trash Removal. You need snow removed. You need trash removed. You need a fucking storage unit cleaned out. Call Hudson's. If you want to see me getting down, I'll be out doing snow removal. We got like fucking 36 inches out here right now.
Yeah, it's still coming too.
Our lovely auntie Jamie St. Mark's. And what else? I think that's all we got to do.
Right now, just a shout out for the halftime.
Oh, shout out to the halftime. Well, you know how it goes.
Christian, you got anything to add?
Yeah, he does.
Always. Got any words for Jake? Out of all the things you listened today, you don't have a single word for Jake?
Come on now.
Yeah.
Dude, I wish you luck. I'm looking forward to seeing you fight because I actually haven't seen anything. So
he's become a fight fan. Actually. He's our nerd, and he's now getting into fighting.
Him and Jake Fenner doing fighting.
There's a lot of.
I'm making a deal with you guys right now. Here's a deal. Me and GoGo fight. If I win, which I'm feeling pretty confident about, all respect to GoGo, you guys each got to take 5 shots of tequila.
5.
Boom, 5.
I was gonna say that's this guy is like
done.
That's
unless you're a recovering alcoholic, then you don't do shit.
And I don't even drink, so it's
and then he pounded one on the go. Too.
Well, I'll think of something else. You gotta do something.
Okay. Hey, we'll smoke a 5-gram blunt.
There you go.
All right.
There you go. I mean,
that's a pretty heavy duty blunt.
We did it with Kai's last fight at the outside the halftime. So
yeah,
you guys would kill me, dude. I have such a low tolerance. I take one hit. I'm done.
Remote.
That fucker was huge.
We were in there.
That's on the video, dude. It's fucking huge.
But we have a new episode out with our sponsor, Guerrilla Warfare, Shane Smith, that just came out at 8:30.
Guerrilla Warfare.
Guerrilla Shane Smith. It's a very good episode. Go in, check it out. It's not on StreamYard. Everything else is looking good, but other than that, let's go.
Hell yeah, man. Jake Lindsey, man. Thanks you for coming on, man. Thanks for tolerating our bullshit for the last couple hours. I would love to have you on again when I'm not feeling like shit. I'm a lot more talkative usually. They can't get me there.
I appreciate it, man. Anytime, man. Anytime you need anything from me, let me know.
Yeah, yes, absolutely, man. I think we should continue our conversation that we were having just a minute ago privately.
Yep. Hit me up.
All right, brother. Thanks you guys for watching, everybody. Thanks for the stars. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for the comments, the likes, the shares. Without our people, this wouldn't be possible. So shout out to our fans first and foremost. We love you guys.
But Jake, if you just when we end the broadcast, if you just stick around, it's got to upload for like 30 seconds to a minute. That's all.
Cool.
Other than that, we are the Weekly Buzz.
Yeah.